So do you feel, this is a feeling question, do you feel like you're attracting all the good, all the things that you love in your life? And the real question is, like, I want you to kind of check in on whether you feel like you're attracting all the good that God has for you into your life. Because if God wants to bless you, but you're not attracting it into your life, it doesn't really serve you, right? And so the three places that I want you to look at, the first one is I want you to feel, do you feel attractive? Now, when we say attractive in our culture, we tend to be talking about looks, right? Like, and when you say I am attractive, you know, most of us think, you know, we look in the mirror and we think about, but I want you to see that being attractive really is a spiritual quality. That's what your soul does. Your soul is in the process always of attracting all the good that God is, but attracting it into your life. That's the job of your soul. That's what your soul does. Out of the infinite possibilities, your soul attracts to you that which you desire most. All the blessings, all the good, all the love, all the joy. So there's really three ways that you can live this one. Either you feel attractive and that you're attracting to you that which you desire, or you could feel that you're not attracting, or you're just not attracting that which you desire. Or the third way is that you're having no impact on your life whatsoever, right? So one is kind of a positive view. I am attractive. Will you say that with me? I am attractive. Now the other view is not only am I not attractive, but I'm actually negative attractive, right? I'm actually pushing stuff away. Like as much as God wants to bless me, I'm working to make sure that none of it lands in my life or at my door. No, thank you, hard no, stay away, right? Or the third place is, there's nothing. I got nothing, right? I'm not pushing it away. I'm not inviting it in. I got nothing, right? And I want you to see that sometimes we live in all three positions. Have you ever felt like in your life that you just got nothing? I got no mojo. I got nothing, right? Nothing's really working. Nothing's really coming in. It's kind of just stagnant and boring and nothing, right? And then sometimes we feel like not only do I not have nothing, but I know I must be pushing, like other people are being blessed. I see them, they got good in their life. They got a new car, they got a new job, they got a new relationship, everything's happening, everything's working. It's flowing into their life, it's working. And it's like, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, what is broken in me that it's not working? And then, the highest level is when I am attractive. Will you say that with me? I am attractive. Now, your ego's going, finally. Right? Your ego goes, it's about darn time, right? I've been feeling this my whole life, and you're finally willing to put it into words. I've been waiting for it. I am attractive. One more time. I am attractive. But I want you to see that it's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper. I want you to unleash the full attractive power of your soul. That this year, we've dedicated this year to love. And we've talked about loving God. We've talked about loving each other. We've talked about loving ourselves. But I want you to be attracting your greatest life. I love my life. Will you say that with me? I love my life. Because love is the great magnet. You know people in your life who are loving their life. And the more they seem to love their life, the more they seem to be attracting that which they desire. And for most of us, we've got to move kind of off of our middle kind of ground and unleash the full power of our love to attract the greatest level of good into our life. You know, in Unity, we teach this thing called the law of mind action. It's one of our fundamental teachings. And the law of mind action says, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. But it's more than just thoughts. It's that which you love, that which you're thinking. It's whatever's going on within you with the dominant feeling, the dominant thought. Your consciousness is creating and drawing to you and attracting to you that which you are being. So when we are willing to be in the spirit of what we love, when we're willing to allow ourselves to dive deep into those aspects of our life that we love, we actually attract the highest level of good. Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret, and she's got another book called The Power, says, whatever is in your magnetic field is attracting itself to you. So the more love in your field, the more power you have to attract the things that you love to you. Author Dishbash Murad said this, love is the magnetic force, attracting force between you and me, the beauty, the world, and everything in it. Rhonda went on to say, the more you give your daily life to love, the greater the magnetic power of love will have in your field around you. And everything you want will fall to your feet. Tell me that doesn't feel good. Right? How would it feel if you magnetized your life so that every good thing that you desire was literally being sucked into your life? And if we believe that God is infinite, if you allow yourself to be magnetized, to allow love to draw to you a greater level of good, does it take away good from anyone else? No, not if God is really infinite, not if life is really infinite, that the more you magnetize your life by love, the more power you have. Catherine Ponder is a Unity minister, longtime Unity minister, author, and one of my favorite books of hers is called The Prospering Power of Love. And I want to read I love this quote. I love this quote. So you ready? Here we go. If you are not attracting the good that you desire into your life, learn to express love. Become a radiant center of love. And you will find that love, the divine magnet within you, will change your world, your whole world. When your heart is filled with love, you will not be critical or irritable, but you will be divinely irresistible. See, that's what I want for you. I want you to unleash your divine irresistibility. I am divinely irresistible. Will you say that with me? I am divinely irresistible. One more time like we mean it. I am divinely irresistible. And I want you to feel the power of that. When we feel disempowered, when we feel like we don't have enough juice, when we feel like we can't have what we want, what I want you to see is that you are a magnet. And when love is the power that is driving your magnet, what you begin to do is begin to attract to you a level of good that looks radically different than when you're putting out into the universe weird stuff. I am a magnet for greater good. One more time. I am a magnet for greater good. I am divinely irresistible. I love this. I am divinely irresistible. Okay, there's a study, and you know I like studies. I don't know why I enjoy these, but they're, I love them. And there was a study by Dr. Christie and her colleagues. And what she was looking for, and what the whole premise of this study was taking metaphors and seeing if there's any scientific basis for them. And the metaphor that she wanted to study was the metaphor the metaphor of love as a physical force. So she asked 120 college students between the ages of 18 and 22 who were either in a relationship or shortly within out of a relationship less than a month, if they would take a survey about their relationship. But she said, before you're going to take the survey, we're going to do a little, she called it a mental break. And she had these kids, college students, young adults, play with blocks. And the blocks, there were 3 different groups of people, 3 different kinds of blocks. And the first set of blocks were magnetized in that these blocks attracted to each other. Okay, that was the first set. Second set of blocks, they were actually magnetized to repel one another, right? So that you couldn't really put them together, because if you got them too close, they would just push each other away, right? And the third set of students and the third set of blocks actually had no magnetic charge. They were just neutral. What they found was the participants who played with the magnetic blocks, the attracting blocks, were substantially higher in how they reported how they felt about their partner, how they felt about the relationship, even if they weren't in the relationship. So I want you to hear this. So the people for 15 minutes who played with magnetic blocks actually reported, even if they were dumped the week before, higher than any other group, than the repelling blocks or the neutral blocks, in a positive way about themselves, their relationship, and the person they were in the relationship with. And they had no idea why that was. Why would that, just playing for 15 minutes with magnetic blocks, so they did it again, this time with 150 students. And this time they just did attracting blocks and repelling blocks. And they got virtually the same response. That playing with these magnets actually caused them to have a higher opinion. Now, these weren't even the same kids, the second group. Like, the second group was brand new kids playing 15 minutes with magnetic blocks, actually scored higher on themselves, their relationship, and how they felt about their partner. Now, why is that, right? Why would that impact them? These studies reiterate the basic point or concept of the metaphor theory, that these metaphors that we use in language aren't just figures of speech or ways of thinking about it. They are actually reflect a deeper truth, that love attracts a higher possibility. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said this: love in its pure essence of being binds us together, the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most powerful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds us in harmony with the universe and everything in it, and a harmonizing principle known as love. So here's my premise here. I believe, and I can't prove this, but I believe it, I believe that just in playing with the magnetic field of those blocks reminded those students of the quality of love. Charles Fillmore said that it was the drawing power that draws us to God and draws us to each other. And the entire universe is based on this force, this drawing power, this magnetic power that connects us all together. And I believe that just playing with blocks. So what's the other assumption we can make from this study? If you're having a hard time in your relationship, just wrap your partner in magnets and they will think higher of you, right? If you're having a fight or having a hard time, just make them play with magnets for a while and you'll look better, right? It's working in my life, just try it at home, right? Right? So what I want you to see tonight is that we are drawn to this activity. We are drawn to love. And when we introduce love in greater and greater ways, it actually draws to us a higher level of love than we can even imagine. And as we do this over and over and over again, it moves us to a higher level of good. How many of you have read anything about Abraham Hicks? Anybody know Abraham? Great, right? Abraham Hicks has a hierarchy of emotions. And in Abraham Hicks' hierarchy of emotion, the highest level is level 1. There's 22 levels. The highest level is joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, and love. They're all these 5 qualities are all dumped in this highest level. And the lowest level is fear, grief, desperation, despair, and powerlessness. But there's 22 levels, a graduated level. And their premise is that every time we operate from a higher emotional level, we actually change what we draw into our life. We actually change what we experience. So in her premise here, she puts these 5 qualities at the highest level. I think we could really differentiate them, that love really is the one. But think about it. If your dominant feeling is doubt, which is number 13. If your dominant feeling is doubt, imagine the world that you would be calling to you, attracting to you, if your dominant feeling was doubt. Now, some of us have spent time there, right? I don't suggest it, but some of us have spent time there where our dominant feeling was doubt. Some of us, number 18 is revenge, right? Now, I don't suggest that, but imagine that your dominant feeling in your life is revenge. That you're actually attracting situations to you that call forth the emotion and the experience of revenge. That over and over again, that has become your dominant feeling. Now, in fact, from 22 through 7, those are all negative emotions, what we would call negative emotions. And in fact, in our world right now, there are so many people operating from negative emotions that out of the 22, only 6 are considered positive. 7 is contentment, right? And then from contentment on up, they become more and more positive. But that means from 7 on down, 8 is boredom. 9 is pessimism. 10 is frustration, irritation, impatience. That whatever our dominant emotion is, it is attracting to us that level of good. And what's so amazing about that is nobody really makes you feel whatever it is that you're feeling. It's your choice. It's your decision. You have the power to decide, do you want your dominant feeling to be boredom? Woohoo! Let me be bored for one more day. And if your dominant feeling is boredom, the world looks boring. But what we don't really want to acknowledge is that we're creating a life that bores us. Out of the 22 levels, you get to decide. And what she says is every time you move up one step on the emotional level, you radically change what shows up in your life. That if you move from boredom to contentment, can you imagine the shift that happens in your life in just making that one shift? And that in our world today, as we express joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, and I believe the highest is love. That love is the great attracting power. I love my life. Will you say that with me? I love my life. Now, your ego may be screaming, liar, liar, pants on fire. Right? It just may, no, that's not right. I kind of tolerate my life, or I kind of like my life, or I'm kind of content with my life. I want to see if you are willing to move up to this higher level number 1, where love is the dominant feeling that you're putting out into the universe, that you love your life, and your life is coming back to you, reflecting back to you in just amazing ways that you love. So Deepak Chopra has written this article. It's on his website. And it's about how to make a shift in your ways to move up the scale to include simple shifts that we can make. And he has 7 things that we can do to improve, right? And that every time we move up one of these levels, everything in our life gets better, that we can move up. So, I'm sorry, I said 7, it's 5. 5 ways to become a magnet for what you love. The first one is to cultivate self-love. And I really want you to feel that to move up any of the levels, you can't really create or cultivate a life that you love if it doesn't start with self-love. Because you would never allow yourself to be that blessed. If you're not cultivating self-love, if you're not willing to love yourself, you can't cultivate that attracting power. So it all begins with cultivating activities where you just allow yourself to love yourself. That it truly is. And he talks about, in this article, he talks about how the acorn has everything that a giant oak tree will ever need to become a giant oak tree. It's already within you. So as you cultivate self-love, you actually experience and express. The next step, he said, was discover your passions. What do you love? What are you passionate about? Where do you spend your time and your energy and your money? If money and time were no object, what would you do with your life? What do you love to talk about? What do you love to teach? What do you love to learn about? What physical activities do you love? What activities spark your creativity? What is the happiest part of your day or your life? How do you love to spend your days off or your time with friends and family? Who are the people that you love to be around? What makes you smile? And then he talked about sharing your light. And he gives us this example of imagining that you are a magnet for the life that you love. And so we're going to do that. I want you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And I want you just to imagine that you're the most powerful magnet in the universe. And your job as this powerful magnet is to attract all the blessings that God has for you. That your job is to attract love and joy and peace and abundance, to attract it in your life. And as this powerful magnet, you are attracting greater good than you've ever known before. And that every day, these things that you're attracting come to you with ease and grace because you're attracting them to you. And all the things that you aren't attracting, that aren't for you, that aren't for your highest good, you're actually just repelling. That it's just not a part of your experience. That you're only attracting the highest level of good for your life. That you are just blessed over and over and over again with the highest level of good. Can you feel that? I want you to feel the full power of your soul to attract the highest level of good. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is all around you, and men see it not. I want you to be attracting that level of good to you over and over again. When you're ready, I want you to come back. How many of you could feel that? Can anybody feel that? That's your homework for this week. I want you to take 5, 10, 15 minutes every day and unleash your spiritual magnet. I want you to imagine yourself as this powerful magnet. Anybody play with magnets when they were kids? Did anybody, like my brother and I, we would wrap them in copper and hook them up to a battery, and it would empower them, right? So that magnets were fun, but if you wrapped them, you create electromagnetic fields, and it was We got in trouble a lot. So I'm just saying, right? Don't try this at home, kids. But that you could actually empower these magnets. And that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel being wrapped in spirit. I want you to feel that you are drawing to you, through the power of love, a higher level of good than you've ever known before. Because if love is the highest vibration, and then you wrap your magnet in love, that only those things that you love are going to be drawn to you. Some of us have worried that if we got more empowered, if we felt more powerful, maybe we'd be attracting the wrong things. It's only if your dominant feeling isn't love, you could attract the wrong thing. If love is the power that you're using to attract your highest level of good to your life, then you're only going to attract things in your life that you absolutely love. I love my life, and my life loves me. Together, I love my life, and my life loves me. So here's your homework. Every day, I want you to unleash the full attractive power of your soul. I want you to envision it. I want you to imagine that from the entire universe, you're calling that which you desire most to you. That you're not a weak little thing set out into a sea of craziness. You are a magnet for God's infinite good, and I want you to be practicing that every day. Are you willing? Pray with me. I want you to open your mind, your heart, your soul to the activity of God. That there is only one presence, only one power, and that power is within you. You are one with that power. You are one with the one. And as we awaken to the full power of God within us, we begin to attract greater and greater and greater levels of good. That there's no limit to your power to attract God's good to your life. You're irresistible. You are irresistible to God. You are irresistible to life. You are divinely irresistible. And tonight you're going to set yourself free to be about the spiritual work that you've come into the world to do, and to be blessed in ways that just were unimaginable. That God's got you. God's with you. And tonight you can set your soul free. In the name and through the power of the living Christ, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen.